I can't believe all the stuff that's happening.
It's just my opinion.
Hey everybody, how you doing? And welcome to Sway. That's right, welcome to the channel where I give you my absolute honest opinion, and I don't give a flying how you feel about it. And as always, I have my trusty smokes and my trusty Coke. And before I get started, do not forget to hit like, make a comment, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification icon so you can be notified of every time that I post a video. Yeah! All right, so on one of my videos, today is May 20th, 2021. And earlier this week, somebody posted a comment on one of my videos. And let me just show it to you. Let me just show you the comment. Okay, give me 1 second. Where's my comment? Here you go. And this was from last year of December the 18th, 2020, Corey Goode's New Foe Part 1. And this was during the time when a lot of people were coming out talking against him. They were talking against him on they're talking against him, talking about the different lawsuits and what have you and all the other stuff. And somebody right here, Alex, and you know what? I'm probably gonna bleep out and I'm gonna bleep out the last name, but it's Alex. And it says, thanks. We need more on Corey's situation with a bit of Wilcock thrown in. You ask and you shall receive. And I apologize. I'm having issues with my HD webcam, so I'm using this the one built into the laptop. I might just have to figure out the lighting situation so this one could look better. But anyway, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. And on Facebook, I'm Facebook friends with Jay Widener, and I pay attention to all of his posts on everything. And he's posted a lot of different, on a lot of different topics and subjects and what have you. And with all of this stuff, and I apologize for all the ands and ums, but I needed to really talk about this without really preparing, writing notes down or anything. So there you go. With all the stuff that's going on in the courts, where Corey Goode is suing Gaia. Corey Goode is suing Gaia. And the interesting thing, in that same video that Alex posted, that comment, Corey Goode's team from the Spear Bean Alliance, they posted the standard comment of, yes, we tried working with all these people, blah, blah, blah. And, like all the stuff and whatever. Okay. What have you? They posted it. Okay. I didn't even know that. At the time, I didn't even realize that that the Sphere Being Alliance was paying attention to any of my videos. But hey, whatever, cool, whatever, right? But anyways, I'm saying Jay Widener's been posting a lot of things on Facebook on a lot of different topics and what have you. One thing that really piqued my interest was some stuff, because when you're dealing with any kind of court cases and what have you, if you're in the middle of it, if you're in the middle of it, then you really, you're not supposed to talk about it, right? At least that's as far as I understand it. You can kind of mention some things here and there, but not any details that cannot that any details that is not publicly available. Okay, So one of the things that he posted was a link to the PDF of um, a link to the PDF of the countersuit that Gaia is putting on Corey Goode. Okay. Um, as well as just a bunch of stuff. Just just basically it's information available publicly. All you have to do is go to the Colorado courts website and all that stuff. Look up the names, James Corey Goode and Good Enterprise Solutions and Gaia and all that stuff. You'll see everything's been all the public information is out there. So all of this information is out there publicly so people can see what's been happening. Okay. So, this is not anything that's not already available to the public. This is not anything that's not already available to the public. So, if it's already available to the public, then as far as I understand it, and I could be wrong because I'm not an attorney, I'm not a lawyer. As long as it's already available to the public, you can talk about it, you can post it, you can do whatever, right? Anything that is not available to the public already, that is what you are not supposed to talk about. So one of the things with Jay Widener, he hasn't talked about anything that is not already available. And everything that he already talks about, it's already been available to the public for some time. So, I'm paying attention to all of this. And I'm going to kind of get into it. But long story short, Gaia is countersuing Corey Goode. Gaia is countersuing Corey Goode. And I mean, and what I'm going to do is that in the description box below, I'm going to put a link to the Dropbox with the information on there, that has the publicly available document that you can find in the Colorado court system, as but it's just easier to find this link, right? So I'm not an attorney and I don't know jack shit about law. So reading this was it was a pain in the ass. It was a pain in the ass for me to try to get through the details as to what's being said. Okay. So in this document, and let me see if I can find it. Give me 1 second right here. All right. So as you can see right here, all right, and I'm not going to go from top to bottom, where it lists all the. I'm not going to do that on video, but defendant Gaia Inc. or Gaia in the brackets in parentheses, by and through its attorneys and what have you, without waiving any rights pursuant to its filed and currently pending motion to dismiss whatever docket pursuant to federal. It's basically is saying that Gaia has moved to dismiss the complaint in its entirety, and as such, no response is required. To the extent any response is required, Gaia denies the allegations. So during the lawsuit, from what I understand it, and again, I could be wrong. I know I can be wrong because again, I'm not an attorney. I don't know jack shit about law. But as I understand it, because of within the lawsuits that Corey Goode has placed upon Gaia, Gaia has moved to dismiss any of the complaints and allegations and what have you that Corey Goode and his attorney put in these lawsuits. I mean, there's a bunch of them, like, into, I mean, right here, like, even 49, Gaia has moved to dismiss the claim, blah 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 blah. There's so many of this, and it wasn't until when you get past all this is like 100 and some odd complaints that Gaia has moved to dismiss like 100 and, let me see how far it goes. I mean, this is like claim 1, claim 2, claim 3. Basically, these are a lot of the different motions, I guess, that Gaia has put out there with all of these claims. I mean, claim 6, Gaia has moved to dismiss the claim, and and like the standard response for attorneys, I'm assuming. Claim 8, claim 9, claim 10. I mean, these, oh my gosh, this is a bunch of shit going on. Okay. And then, okay. Down here, defenses. Gaia has moved to dismiss the complaint in its entirety, and as such, no defenses are required to be asserted at this time. Gaia hereby gives notice that it intends to rely upon any other defense that is now or may become available during or as a result of discovery in this action, and hereby reserves the right to amend its answer to assert any and all such defenses, none of which are waived. Now, here we go. Counterclaims. Okay. Counterclaims, and this is public information that can be found in the court system in the state of Colorado. Okay. Gaia, by and through its attorneys, without waiving any rights related to its filed and currently pending motions to dismiss docket 128 pursuant to federal rules and civil procedure 7A and 13 and Colorado revised statute, that number 138109, and with leave of the court, docket 191, for its counterclaims against plaintiffs James Corey Goode and Goode Enterprise Solutions alleges as follows. Okay, these are the counterclaims that Gaia has been has put upon Corey Goode. These counterclaims are in response to plaintiffs' claims and seek to recover damages from plaintiffs for malicious, tortious acts of defamation, as well as a breach of contract, trademark infringement, tortious interference, and copyright infringement, and to enjoin plaintiffs from further causing harm to Gaia. Okay, big picture is that they are countersuing Corey for all the stuff that he has done to them throughout the years. Now, it gets into a bit more detail as you go along, as far as all the stuff that Corey has done to them throughout the years. Okay. Says parties, defendant, counterclaimant. Gaia Inc. is a Colorado corporation with its principal place of business located at wherever it's located at in Colorado. I'm going to be blurring out stuff, even though it's public information, and they put it out there. But anyway, Gaia is a global conscious media and community company that operates a global digital video subscription service that caters to a unique and underserved subscriber base. Gaia is a rapidly growing company with a digital content library of over 8,000 titles available to subscribers. And there's some information here that is redacted. Okay, it's not there. It's been blacked out. Upon information and belief, plaintiff counter defendant James Corey Goode is an individual living in Colorado. Upon information and belief, plaintiff counter defendant Goode Enterprise Solutions Inc. GES is a Colorado corporation with its principal place of business located at blank. That's what was redacted. As of May 10, 2021, GES has a status of delinquent with the Colorado Secretary of State. Stacy Goode, who is on information and belief Goode's wife, is listed as the registered agent for GES jurisdiction and venue. Okay, this gets interesting. Jurisdiction and proper jurisdiction, excuse me, it's kind of early for me, is proper in this court because Gaia has suffered injury as a result of plaintiff's commission in Colorado of tortious acts, including publishing defamatory statements about Gaia, and because the contract between Gaia and plaintiffs was entered into and performed in Colorado. Additionally, by filing in this court the original and amended complaints alleging claims concerning the same subject matter as these counterclaims, plaintiffs have consented to the jurisdiction of the court. So in other words, what this whole thing is saying is that Gaia is stating, look, all of this happened in Colorado. All of this happened in Colorado under the jurisdiction of whatever circuit court or what have you that they are filing in. And Gaia wants to make sure that because everything was done in Colorado in that jurisdiction, that it stays within that jurisdiction, that it doesn't go into any other courts and what have you. At least that's how I understand it. That's how, again, I could be wrong. And if I am, I'm sorry. I'm just telling you how I understand it, that Gaia wants to make sure that everything stays within that jurisdiction, within that court, that, where Corey Goode and his people cannot move it to any other courts and within the state or with any other state of the United States of America. That's how I understand it. Okay. Factual allegations overview. Gaia contracted with GES for Goode to appear on the show Cosmic Disclosure, or CD, a relationship that lasted for approximately 3 years from June of 2015 to August of 2018. On Cosmic Disclosure, Gaia provided a platform for Goode to tell his story, which allowed Goode to gain attention and fame in the disclosure community. Gaia paid Goode and his company GES generously during that time, including for his appearance on Cosmic Disclosure, his relocation from Texas to Colorado, and for various planned speaking events. However, while he was still involved in appearing in Cosmic Disclosure, upon information and belief, Goode became concerned that he was running out of material and Gaia would replace him with new talent. Rather than quietly cede the spotlight upon information and belief, Goode began plotting to destroy Gaia and Cosmic Disclosure. For example, Goode stopped appearing for shooting dates and threatened to interfere with any filming and production of Cosmic Disclosure that involved other talent. Upon information and belief, Goode also started an online campaign to defame and harass Gaia, which involved the posting of numerous articles, petitions, and emails that made wild and false accusations about Gaia and its executives. Accordingly, due to GES and Goode's various breaches and tortious conduct, Gaia eventually terminated the then operative contract, thereby ending the parties' business relationship. At that time, Goode and GES owed Gaia reimbursement for certain advances previously made, the total amount of which exceeded any final contract payment to which Goode and GES were entitled. Okay, so I'm going to basically give you the rundown. Okay. For the 3 years, that Gaia and Corey Goode and Goode Enterprises Solutions had. Okay. Number one, Gaia Inc. says that they gave a pay advance to Corey Goode and his company. Okay, this is what they say on in court records. They say that they gave Corey Goode a pay advance, and it also says in this document that they also helped with the relocation of Corey Goode and his family from Texas to Colorado. Okay. With all of this stuff that was happening, where apparently Corey Goode was running out of stories and ideas to tell on cosmic disclosure. This is what Gaia is saying. Okay. That Corey Goode started to all of these campaigns defaming Gaia. Okay. Now, if anybody that's been paying attention, over the past 3 to 5 years, what have you, right? During that time and what have you, Corey Goode and David Wilcock were starting to talk. They were starting to do a lot of defamation of Gaia, especially with David Wilcock's letter of resignation and this, that, and the other, saying that Gaia became a Luciferian organization, blah, blah, blah. How many times did David Wilcock and Corey Goode has come out on different, let's say, YouTube channels saying, oh, we're dealing with a lot of Luciferians and blah, 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 and all of that stuff. So that's basically what is saying here, or what they're saying in this document, as well as the fact that because of all of this, Gaia terminated the working contract with Corey Goode, and any final monetary any final money that Gaia would have owed to Corey, they shouldn't have to pay that. They're not going to pay that. And the reason why is because Corey Goode took a lot of pay advances, right? Advancement in pay for whatever he was doing, whether he was moving from Texas to Colorado or any other thing and what have you, that that payment that he took without, exceeded the amount of any money that Gaia would have owed to Corey if this contract would have been finished normally, on normal good relationships terms type stuff. Okay. And with all of this stuff that's happening, and just in reading this and what have you, if I read this correctly, this was the third contract that Goode had with Gaia. This is the third contract and I could be wrong on the number, again, because the legal dockets and what happened kind of goes over my head. I'm not, since I'm not an attorney or anything, but I believe if I read this correctly, this was the third contract that Goode had with Gaia. And in all three contracts, Corey Goode had a deal with Gaia where they would give him an advance payment for whatever. And Goode, would have to work certain dates and shooting. And it gets into details as to it gives you details as to everything Corey Goode was going to do with Gaia, which is not just, shooting, but also being there for rehearsals, before they were shooting, being there for rehearsals, being there for a lot of different things. And I believe it's something about where Corey Goode wanted to be a consultant or something like that. Again, law stuff goes above me. I'm not an attorney. I don't have a law degree, or anything goes above me. Yes, I did study some stuff here and there, what have you, but some things are just above me. I'm gonna be real. Okay. And I've always said this, I'm not an attorney. I don't understand law shit for nothing. I don't. But with all of this, that during the final contract, that Goode had with Gaia, and if I'm understanding this correctly, apparently Corey Goode was running out of stories, as part of his narrative of whatever, being part of the SSP, that and he didn't want to see anybody else replace him on Cosmic Disclosure. Now, here's the thing. Even before this document came out, how many times did people like Jason Rice made the comment that Corey Goode was harassing him and sending him cease and desist letters? Again, this is just information that's already out there. I'm just bringing it back up. Okay. You know, even before this docket came out, right? How many times is, like Jason Rice was saying that Corey Goode was basically sending him cease and desist letters and telling him, no, you're not going to be on Gaia. You're not going to be on Cosmic Disclosure. If you talk about the SSP, I'm going to sue you. How many times has Jason Rice come out to say that about what Corey Goode has done? Okay. On top of that, this document, again, I'm going to post a link of the document in the description box below. This document says that this is not the first time that Corey Goode has done this. Now, again, I even before this document come out, there have been other YouTubers, and that would include my friend Stina Maria, where she stated that, and again, this is according to public record. Okay, in the state of Texas, that Corey Goode was let go from a job or what have you, and after whatever happened where he lost his job in Texas, however it happened, okay, because I'm not going to go by memory now, I'm just going to say however he lost his job, that he was harassing his former employer. And this is on public record in the state of Texas and what have you. And it states it right here in this document that it's happened in the past. And it gives details as to what happened in the past in the state of Texas. So again, how many times throughout the past couple of years has people come out saying the exact same thing, even before these documents have come out, where it has been made official? Okay. Now, again, I am not an attorney. I don't know jack shit about law and what have you, but I do pay attention. I do pay attention to what is being said, what is being, by everybody. Okay. So if you really pay attention, now here's the thing, you make your own decision on how you feel. Okay. If you still support Corey Goode, okay, whatever. That's on you. Drink the Kool-Aid. Simple. That's on you. Keep drinking the Kool-Aid. Okay. But if you're really looking at facts, about what's happening, what he's done, things that's been in public court for a long time and that has been proven in court as well as outside of court, what can you do? What can you do? Things happen. Okay. Things happen. Now and here's my opinion on the whole thing. Did Corey Goode do a lot of bad things? Yes, he has. That's my opinion. He's done a lot of bad things, but at the same time, who knows? Gaia may have done a lot of bad things too. When you're in a business relationship, you never know. You never really know what's really happening behind the scenes unless everybody's coming out and what have you. Now, over the past several months and what have you, right? You saw how people were coming out. You saw how people were coming out with all of this stuff with, saying that Corey Goode did this, that, and the other, and that they're basically joining to help put a stop to him and all of that. Um, there's a lot going on that if you don't pay attention, you get caught up in a lot of things. Okay. And to the people that follow Corey Goode, I'm sorry that you still follow Corey Goode. That's your choice. That's definitely your choice. Okay. But at the same time, and if you got to pay attention to all of the stuff that's going on. If you remember, what was it? What was the name of that channel? Down with the Curve or something like that? Or Up with the Curve? Anyway, it was the channel where the gentleman John, okay, the gentleman John that started coming out talking against Emery Smith when he started talking out against David Wilcock. When he started talking against David Wilcock, talking about how David Wilcock started a 501c3 nonprofit organization, started a church. For what reason? For what reason? Now, if you are a 501c3 and legally, here's the thing, on the legal standpoint, when you have a 501c3, a nonprofit or a legal nonprofit organization, the 501c3, if you fall under that as a nonprofit organization where they don't charge you taxes and this, that, and the other, by law, anytime somebody asks you for your financial stuff, you have to give it to them. And according to John, every time that he or other people asked David Wilcock and his wife for the financial stuff, they basically laughed in their faces. That is illegal. As far as I understand it. Okay. Now, and Jay Widener, as well as other people, as and that would include Stina Maria. Let me get back to me. Jay Widener and my friend Stina Maria made a great point. And let me see if I can find it. Where is it? But basically, and this is just a paraphrase in case I can't find it. But oh, and before I even mentioned it, okay, this is just out of a post. It says Corey Goode screwed Gaia over $25,000, and this is, and mind you, this is because with the advance payments that was the advance payments that was talked about in the court docket. It says Corey Goode screwed Gaia out of over $25,000. Gaia never took action against Corey Goode for his ripoff. He must have taken that as a sign of weakness, so he escalated his war against Gaia. There's a certain VP at Gaia who did not take this attitude well. She knows how to fight in the trenches. Corey Goode is so screwed. Mind you, this is on a post, but also on top of that, if you really think about this, Gaia has pretty much unlimited funds. If you think about it, Gaia has pretty much unlimited funds. They have the best lawyers out there, and Corey Goode started a war with a huge company that can keep him in court and make him go bankrupt in no time. Okay. All right. Okay, here we go. It says Stina Maria discovered that Wilcock had a 501c 3C, sorry, 501c to hide his income. He freaked out and had Corey Goode's lawyer send Stina a cease and desist letter. Now we know that he was hiding the money because he knew there would be future lawsuits based on what he and Corey Goode did to Gaia. I am pretty sure that David Wilcock is in a world of fear right now. Okay, so going back into all of this, I'm going to post the link to the document so you can read it for yourself, so you can see all basically the counterclaim that Gaia has against Corey Goode. Okay. So what are my thoughts and opinions on this? And I'm going to tell you, and I was just saying it earlier. Corey Goode decided to pick a fight. Corey Goode decided to pick a fight with a multi-million or multi-billion dollar company that basically has endless funds, lawyers, witnesses upon witnesses, and what have you. He decided to pick a fight with them. Why? Because and in my opinion, and it goes back into the court document, because he didn't want anybody else to get the fame for being an SSP insider. And it could be more. It could be more than that too. I don't freaking know. That's just my opinion. I'm just telling you what I am observing. That's all it is. And all of this information that I have brought out to you today is public information, public knowledge in the court system. It's also, I mean, other YouTubers that, like my friend Stina Maria, who has a huge channel, and, and as she has done the work herself and getting all of this public information from the Colorado courts and what have you. Right. I mean, what do you expect me to think? What do you expect my opinion? I mean, there's a lot going on. There is a lot going on, and people are still blinded. People are still blinded. It's that simple. In my opinion, the facts are that people are still blinded, even when the facts are being presented to them, that things are not hunky-dory. Now, as far as the David Wilcock starting the nonprofit organization, what's the real purpose? Yes, on the on the mission statement and whatever he says, but what is the real purpose? What is the real purpose? And you have to ask the questions. You have to ask the questions. You really have to, seeing everything going around you. Okay. When David Wilcock started a 501c3 or 3C or however you say it, or during the beginning of all of this turmoil, when Gaia started fighting back. So then you have to ask the question, what is the real reason that David Wilcock started the 501c3? I'm just asking questions. I'm just asking questions and giving my opinion. That's it. That's all I'm doing. What is the real reason? What is the real reason? Now, I doubt I will ever get a real reason from any of them. You know what I'm saying? I doubt it. I really doubt it. I'll get the real reason about the 501c3 and whatever from Mr. Wilcock, I mean, it would be cool if I could sit down and talk brass tacks with him and be like, hey, look, what's the real reason? It would be cool. It would be cool just to find out what's the real reason. And without the, hey, peace and love. No, I just, man to man, eye to eye, just ask him. That's it. I doubt I'll get that opportunity, but hey, whatever. It is what it is. Let's see how the cards are played. Right? The cards have been dealt. The cards have been dealt. And now it's time to see how the cards are going to be played. And whatever happens from this point forward, you have to realize that a lot of this could have been avoided by Corey Goode and David Wilcock. I'd see, in my opinion, a lot of this has to do with ego. A lot of this has to do with ego. The ego that David Wilcock and Corey Goode have. A lot of this has to do with that. That's my opinion. A lot of this could have been avoided if in the end, again, going towards the Jason Rice thing, right? Because Jason Rice was coming out on Cosmic Disclosure talking about the SSP and all that stuff, right? If Corey Goode basically just said, if Corey Goode would have allowed the contract to expire and would have allowed everything to end amicably between himself and Gaia, I think a lot of this stuff could have been avoided. And the reason why is because at that point, if Corey Goode did not go after Jason Rice, if Corey Goode did not go after Gaia and whatever, he could have still been on the lecture circuit. He could have still been on the lecture circuit. He could have still been doing what he does, and there wouldn't have been too much interference going on with what he does with the Ascension School and all that stuff. Yes, there would be opposition. There would be people talking against it. I probably definitely would still be talking against it for different reasons, than other people. But it's one of those things of Corey and David started a battle on so many different fronts against so many different people. And when he started the battle with one of the top dogs in the disclosure, spirituality community, what have you, that's when things really started. And I think a lot of this has to do with ego. A lot of this has to do with, he didn't want anybody else to become famous for telling an SSP story. And this was talked about many, many months ago by CW Chanter on how Corey Goode, he tried to trademark the secret space program and all of that stuff. He tried to trademark a bunch of these words and what have you when Jason Rice was coming out with it. Well, what was the reason? Because again, he wanted to be the only person to tell the story. So again, I say that if their ego wasn't so big and they would have allowed their contract and their relationship with Gaia to be amicable, a lot of this stuff wouldn't be happening. Now here's the thing. With what's going on now between one of his former attorneys, with Leon Isaac Kennedy, and the rest, And the rest, like Ari Stone and freaking Jordan Sather and what have you, I think again, this is my opinion, that still would have happened, because even if he would have left his relationship with Gaia amicably, but again, within his, because of his ego, this is just my opinion, and whatever is being done behind the scenes, it would eventually would have come out anyway. Eventually it would have come out anyway, one way or the other. But there's no way there was no way for a lot of this to be avoided. Some things could have been avoided. The rest of it, there is no way for it to be avoided. That's just my opinion. That is just my opinion. You know, I mean, I hope the best for everybody. I hope that if anything, Corey Goode would smarten up, drop the lawsuits as a sign of good faith. He would drop the lawsuits, and then in that case, if anything, come up with a deal with Gaia, and Gaia can drop the lawsuits, and then that's it. It's done and over with. Because if Corey Goode would drop the lawsuits, not just against Gaia, but against CW Chanter, against Jay Widener, and the rest of the crew, as well as Gaia, like I said, if Corey would drop the lawsuits, I think Gaia and work something out with Gaia will drop their lawsuit. And this is on a utopian, on a utopian world type of thing. If Corey would drop every lawsuit that he has, Gaia would drop their lawsuit, and so on and so forth. I think there's a way to come out of this amicably. Now, whether or not you agree with Corey Goode and his message and the way that and what have you, that's on the individual person. I don't agree with his messages. I don't agree with his ascension stuff. I don't agree with none of that. That's why I'm not a subscriber to his website. I don't pay whatever monthly amount or what. I don't. Why? Because I don't agree with it. I'm not going to waste my money. I'm not going to waste my money on David Wilcox stuff. I'm not going to waste my money on Corey Goode stuff. Because I don't agree with it. It's that simple. That's it, But in the end, when it comes to that stuff, that's on the individual person, right? But as far as the lawsuits and all this stuff is concerned, on a hunky dory level, if Corey Goode will just drop his lawsuits, work out something with Gaia and the rest and whatever, I think this is just my opinion. I could be wrong. I could definitely be wrong on this. That, like, if Corey Goode drops the lawsuits, somebody else might sue him. When you never really know. But I'm just saying, on the hunky dory level, the utopian level of thinking, it's, in my opinion, would be the best way to go. Again, I could be wrong. I'm just saying. But with all things said, everything is public information. Everything is public information and what have you. With what's going on with Corey Goode, check it out. Again, I'll put a link in the description box below to the court documents. And we'll go from there. Let's see how it happens. I really don't know what to say other than just report what I see and how I feel. You know what I mean? But right now, at this point, I really don't know what to say other than that. My opinion is, I think all of this is stupid. I think Corey Goode should have never started so many battles on so many fronts. That's just my opinion. All right, until next time, just remember, I'm Sway. Love you all. Peace.
It's just my opinion.